Hello, everyone. Welcome to my presentation on the new technology added to a blended classroom by me, Amanda Woods, the primary evaluator. So what did the blended classroom look like before? We are going to look into what the students were already using. So my partner's proposal to me was my partner was looking for a way to enhance and integrate new technology or best practices into her blended classroom. Her model consisted of the blending learning stations that take place in her classroom on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The learning station consisted of a computer station, a project station, and a teacher station. So the current technologies that the students are currently using, as stated by my partner, Ms. Hirschberger, was watching videos and PowerPoint presentations that she created, working in their Google Classroom with Plickers, Kahoot, and a smartboard that was located in her classroom but is very outdated, so she doesn't use it very often. Then I wanted to check with the students and see how they felt or what technology they were already using in my initial survey before they got started on using technology in the classroom. So as you can see here, the students got to pick more than one response or check all that applied. The students chose the Google Classroom at 92%. Next was the Kahoots, and YouTube and PowerPoint was showed in the smartboard. So the three technologies, as I'll get into this shortly, is BlendSpace, VoiceThread, and BirdBrain were the three that we were going to integrate as new technology. So I'm assuming that when Ms. Hirschberger had just introduced BirdBrain to the students when they had taken this initial survey to have such a high response to that one already. So the decision was made by me and my partner to integrate these types of new technology, which is the BlendSpace, VoiceThread, and BirdBrain. The BlendSpace is a website where you can create online lessons to incorporate PowerPoint presentations, online videos, pictures, online quizzes, and then you can connect all that right to your Google Classroom. VoiceThread is an online platform where you can create a PowerPoint presentation, upload questions, and then have kind of a virtual online discussion where students can record a snippet of their voice and then go through and comment to one another. And then lastly, we chose to use BirdBrain, which was a online reading program that quizzes the students, but also has a focus of science. So they would be reading science articles that would relate to the topics that she would be teaching in class and improving the reading level along with it. So the students utilizes these new technology for about 3 weeks before completing the final survey for my evaluation. So what I wanted to find out, I used these research questions to guide my evaluation of how has the transition to integration of new technology affected student engagement and academic performance? How has the new technology integrated into the blended model met students' academic needs? And how has the new technology impacted the teacher in the overall preparation of the lessons and plans for her blended classroom? And how has the new technology impacted the blended classroom model overall? So here were the results of the student survey. So I wanted to find out where they felt like the most new technology was being integrated, and 63% of students said the computer station. And then they also had the teacher station and the project station. I added an outlier of sit at your seat station, and 10% of students chose that. And I think that was just maybe when the teacher was teaching them about the new technology, they maybe were sitting in their seats, and that was how it was interpreted. So next, The students did complete an online Google Docs survey, and I used a behavioral scale within the survey of 1 equaling strongly disagree, 2 equaling slightly disagree, 3 equaling neutral, 4 equaling slightly agree, 5 agree, and 6 strongly agree. I used this scale to understand how the new technology had affected different aspects of the students' learning. So using that scale, I first took apart the data and looked at VoiceThread first and how it affected the students. So you can see from these results that they were kind of in the neutral zone. Didn't really have an effect. They felt one way or the other. Next, I wanted to find out if using VoiceThread helped them express their academic thoughts. Majority of them also, again, felt like neutral in that response, but I was glad to see that majority of them chose slightly agree, agree, or strongly agree, and few of them slightly disagreed. And then from here, using VoiceThread has met their academic needs, so they're still neutral on that. So then I asked the teacher how she felt VoiceThread affected the students, and these were how she, on her scale, behavioral scale, so the new technology of VoiceThread affected the students' engagement in the lessons and topics you have been teaching them. She slightly agreed with that. The use of VoiceThread helps the students to express their academic thoughts. She slightly agreed with that. And using VoiceThread had met the group's decision needs slightly. And then using VoiceThread met your students' academic needs. She was neutral on that. So she was kind of at the same place as the students were in the utilization of VoiceThread. Next, I looked at the blend space technology and how it affected the students' learning. So the new technology affected your engagement in the lessons. Majority of the students felt neutral on that topic as well. And so I wanted to see kind of the breakdown by homeroom of how those the top 3 responses were broken apart by classroom. So this breakdown by homeroom is the top 3 answers to the question. From the table, I can discern that half the students from each homeroom, except for Dartmouth, felt like they didn't have an effect either way when it came to their engagement of the use of blend space technology. So next, I asked the students at the computer station, when you use blend space, it affected your academic performance in a positive way. And still, majority of the students felt neutral on that topic, but I was glad to see more students slightly agreed, and strongly agreed with that aspect. Then I wanted to know if they felt like it met their academic needs. So as you can see, the majority of students were neutral on this topic as well. Not sure if it was because they didn't understand the question or they didn't realize that doing blend space lessons was linked into their Google Classroom and they didn't know what met their academic needs meant due to their age since they were 5th grade students. So here is the positive results of the teacher thoughts on the blend space technology. The new technology of blend space has affected the students' engagements in lessons. She agreed with that. In the computer station, the use of blend space has had a positive effect on students' academic performance. She strongly agreed with that, which was great to hear because that was one of our main goals, was to make sure that it affected the students' academic performance in a positive way. And then the use of blend space has met her planning needs. And then using the blend space has met your students' academic needs, and she agreed with that. So next I wanted to look at the effects of bird brain technology had on the students. And as you can see, the scale was very tipped between strongly disagree and strongly agree out of the 90 students who had answered. So I was wondering if this was isolated by homeroom or scattered throughout the homeroom. So I was going to break the data down even further. So I did my research for the teacher as the use of new technology. I found that she would assign paragraphs on the topics that they were reading within the student's reading level. And I wonder if this had a correlation with the data. So as you can see here, 24% of students would strongly disagree, and 45% of those came from Boston, as where 18% of them came from, so 45% from that class was, and then 18%, and then 32% with USD, and then 47%. So it was kind of a almost not, well, almost half split. So then I wanted to know if they thought it helped them improve their learning of science topics, and they were agreeing and strongly agreeing with that aspect. So that was very positive results based on the type of technology that BirdBrain is for them to use. And then also the teacher survey results for BirdBrain is a new technology has affected the students' engagement in lessons and topics you've been teaching them. She was agreeing with that. And the use of BirdBrain has helped the students to improve their reading while learning this science topic. She strongly agreed with that, which is great because that is exactly what BirdBrain is meant to do. So then I wanted to look at the open-ended questions that I had asked the students. I tried to find the commonality in the responses, and these were the breakdown of the responses. And then a couple of the most memorable responses was it has affected me because I have more influence. It has affected me because we don't learn in a different way. And I think the new technology has had a positive effect on my engagement in the classroom. So I really think that that speaks volumes of that student in the UCSC homeroom. So the next open-ended question here was, in what ways has the technology affected your academic performance? So these were the generalized responses that the students gave. So it was very telling. And then lastly, the last open-ended question I asked, in what ways has the new technology met your academic needs? So a lot of the students were, saying that the new technology helped me learn, which was very positive. Still, a lot of them didn't understand, I don't know, or left it blank. And then 16 students felt like that it met their academic needs. So that's very positive. So next, I wanted to share the teachers' responses. So as you can see here from this document, how do you feel the new technology you have integrated into the blended classroom model meets the students' academic needs? The teacher stated that the blended model is great for engaging students in different ways while making them tech savvy. When the students graduate, they will need to be proficient in a variety of technologies as well as be able to find information on their own, doing research. Next, I asked her, how did the new technology affect the students' engagement? In the classroom, the students were more engaged and have a sense of pride in their learning, and they're doing the heavy lifting instead of her. And it also allows time for small groups, which are intimately more engaging for the students. Then I asked, what type of impact has the new technology had on the blended model classroom overall? The students were more engaged and they have been giving each other feedback and keeping each other accountable. 21st century skills are being taught and allows them to work in small group of students and so she can reach her struggling students. How do you feel the new technology has affected the students' academic performance? Yes. Besides typing skills, it also helped the students help each other with the Google Classroom in tandem with the technology. And then I had asked her about how the blend space model helped her with her planning purposes, and it allowed her the prep for most of the week and then or the week before, so she didn't have to work on the weekends. And then the new technology was most effective in the teaching So personally, she enjoyed the blend space the most with being able to use it so the students can still get the information as if she was teaching it traditionally. And the Bird Brain doesn't have enough material currently to fit her needs, but she's looking into other models. And I think she said she'll continue to use the blend space model, and the voice thread was a little wonky for students because she felt like they needed more